Hello, everybody, and welcome back to FemmeTarot. I'm Natalie, your international psychic medium. And over here, we don't do fluff. We cut straight to the truth. So you are in the right place. How's everybody doing? I just want to wish you all a beautiful Sunday. It is December. We've got how many more days till Christmas? 17 more days till Christmas. And I can't wait this year for Christmas because I don't know why. I'm just in a Christmas mood this year. I'm usually kind of like the Grinch before Christmas because it is one of the most stressful times. Super busy with readings, super busy with family stuff, Christmas events, all sorts of things. Recording your not your yet, haven't recorded those, but recording the 2026 predictions. And I always record the predictions for the upcoming year in December, and I am also going to be recording the forecast, the predictions for the zodiacs as well. So it's a busy time, and usually I'm really stressed out, so I'm really the Grinch in December, let me tell you, before Christmas. But this year, it's slightly different. It's different. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that Mercury retrograde or Mercury is no longer retrograde. It has stationed and it has gone direct. And maybe that potent energy has been lifted and I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know what it is. Let me tell you, I've been Christmas shopping on time. Usually I leave everything last minute. Yeah, I'm one of those. Don't judge. I'm one of those. Yeah. But yeah, I think this is going to be, I don't know, an interesting Christmas. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the last couple of days, and I'm talking on a collective level now, right? Not on a personal level. So the last couple of days, I keep getting this feeling, this intuitive feeling that something is up or something is brewing. I don't know what. It's just a feeling. Okay. And interestingly enough, I feel whatever is brewing, it's gonna like boom. Around the 20. So I keep getting the dates 20th of December and 23rd of December. I keep getting those the past week. So I wasn't sure what spirit was trying to tell me with those dates. But then a couple of days ago, I got hit with this feeling. So I'm like, ooh, does this mean something is about to happen around those days? Well, we'll have a look because it may be what I'm feeling, what is going on now, like the tensions between USA and Venezuela. Maybe that's what I'm picking up, and that's why I want us to look into this. What is up with that? Because it's really interesting the incentives behind threatening Maduro and Venezuela. It's not the substances. We have to use code words here because also a big shout out to all the new subscribers that we got. The Femme Village is growing. So hello, and welcome. We got a lot of new subscribers from the 2026 psychic prediction. So I just want to welcome everybody to the channel and to the most beautiful and most soulful community on YouTube. All right, before we start, because we've got a lot of topics to touch upon, and let me just tell you what we're going to be looking at today. Because as you know, we're going to be splitting those lives into different sections. So we have like the pop culture and entertainment section. We have politics, we have true crime and trials and things like that. The royals as well. These are the main subjects or topics. Subjects, we're not at school. Maybe because I was helping my son with his homework. These are the main topics. And today's topics are going to be, the first one's going to be, what is up with Meghan Markle and her dad? So the news came out a couple of days ago that Thomas Markle, Meghan Markle's father, estranged father actually, had to go into emergency surgery in the Philippines. I didn't know he was in the Philippines. Maybe he relocated there. Last time I heard he was in Mexico. But that's irrelevant to the story. And he had to have his leg amputated. Now, Of course, when the news broke, everyone was like, what is Meghan finally going to reach out to her dad? Are they finally going to rekindle this relationship? What is going on? He is quite old. I think he's like 81 years old, and he has so many health problems. He had open heart surgery, now this. He's not getting any younger. He's getting frailer and frailer with age. So we're going to be looking at that. That's the first thing. Then we have the Luigi Magione pretrial that's been going on at the moment. So we're going to be looking at that because some interesting things came up during the pretrial, such as when they found Luigi and they arrested him. They also confiscated his rucksack. We know this. And supposedly, allegedly, they found the gun, the manifesto, all that. But they didn't have a search warrant. And this came up in the trials and the pretrial. So this is quite huge for this case, because if this is the case that the police actually confiscated his bag and arrested him without a search warrant, without any evidence, then this trial could just go in the dumps, right? So we will be looking at that as well. The politics topic for today is what is going on with Venezuela? What are Trump's intentions here? Is he actually going to do something? Is he going to attack the country? What's going to happen to Maduro? That's the next topic. And then we're going to be looking at, if we've got time. If we don't, I'm going to do a separate video for this. This is going to be just a video on this. It's a true crime on the case of the missing 3-year-old. Hold on. William Tyrrell. He went missing in South Wales, Australia in 2014. So he's been missing for 11 years. So there's the case is wide open at the moment. They don't have much evidence around that. So I want to see if I can tune in. First of all, I want to see if this little boy is still with us, if he's alive, and if he's not, what happened, who is responsible for this. Just try to find some answers. And hopefully, as always, with the true crime readings, and the intention of doing these true crime readings are very much so that when I pick up on certain clues or insights or psychic insights, they may be very crucial to investigations. And I'm hoping that if you guys share these videos, or if you share the edits, the clips, that someone who is involved with this investigation, or even family members, can see that, and it might lead them to somewhere, or to some kind of clue, or even to these missing people, dead or alive. Because families need closure. Families need closure. All right, so this is how this life is going to go today. But before we start, as always, I want to say a quick hello and welcome to the Femme Village, to the chat. Love you all. Hello to you too. Asa, how's everybody doing? Hello, Val. Hope you're doing well. Happy Sunday to you too, Brandy. Thank you. Yeah, I've updated you guys. I hope as of today, okay, no more tech issues, because I've just upgraded all of my system, all of my studio here. Okay, so hopefully everything will be working just amazingly. And I think it should. Why shouldn't it? Hello to you, Karen. Happy Sunday and season's greetings to you. It's been quite a week over here. Let me tell you, we had a Storm Byron hit the country. I live in Greece, for those of you who don't know. I relocated to Greece 4 years ago. And the flash floods, the floodings, we started having leaks at our house. I can't speak. What's wrong with me? House. And so my studio is at the basement, is on the lower level, the basement level, right? And all the water was coming through. And we just spent all night trying to, manage the water, the leaks, to dry everything off. I was in a state of panic. And this happened 2 days after I upgraded my computer, my system, everything in the studio. I was just freaking out. So luckily we had tarp in the house. We had bubble wrap. We used a lot of that. We really had to MacGyver this. Really, we were MacGyvering. It's not even a verb. It's not even a word. Just made it up. And if you are millennial or Gen Xer, you know who MacGyver is. And we had to do it. But luckily, we didn't have big damage. But it was stressful. Let me tell you, it was stressful. Okay, hello to you too, Anna. Nice to see you all. Hello, Brandon. Happy to see you. Yeah, it happened just as Mercury was stationing. And I've said this before, you guys. I keep reminding you, the worst part of Mercury being retrograde is when it stations and it goes direct, because it really has to pick up that energy, right? So that's where chaos ensues. Beautiful Danny girl is in the house as well. Bingo. Bingo, Anna. Bingo. Off of Crete. When did this happen? I haven't been online the whole weekend. Was busy. I had 11 kids in my house yesterday. I had 9 teens and 2 and 3 preteens yesterday in my house. Let me tell you, I was busy the whole day, and my son had his volleyball match because he's in the volleyball team, our local volleyball team. So it was a busy weekend, let me tell you. So I haven't had the chance. Great reminder, Carrie. Hit the like button. Okay, hold on. This is a great little here. So consider subscribing if you're new here. You will definitely not regret it. And also you can follow me on social media. Here it is. This is how you can find me on social media. If you're new in the channel, please follow me also on TikTok and Instagram. And everything else is anyways linked and added down below in the description box. All right, let me bring up my banner. As you know, I know, but I wanted to do this for the kids, it's just before Christmas. And then as soon as school's out, everyone kind of like, they're off traveling, going off to ski resorts, whatnot. So I thought this is a perfect time as well to just have them all together. They're really amazing kids, though. They're really well behaved and amazing kids. So I love having them around. I really do. I absolutely do. The preteens, let me tell you, the 3 preteens are a lot more work than the 19s, the 9 teenagers. Whew, let me tell you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. All right, shall we get into this, into everything, because we have so many topics to talk about today and cover. All right, let's start. Let me just bring real quick here. This is really helpful for our for the timestamps as well, and for the replay crew. So I'm just going to bring up my little overlays stuff. All right, let's start with Meghan Markle and her dad. We'll add her as pop culture. I should have like a Royals banner, but here we go. Okay, so I do want to share, before we start the reading, I do want to share with you all my screen, all right, and just share with you what is happening right now, what the papers. This is the most recent article. This is from today, so it's been updated, and I just want to share with you what's being said here. So I smell BS. I always do. And I can smell BS with my eyes closed and from miles away, let me tell you. So one of the BSs that I'm smelling here is that apparently, hold on, is it on this article or the other article? So apparently the Duchess of Sussex emailed her father on Friday after finding out or hearing about him being in emergency surgery or having undergone emergency surgery. And where is it? Sources to the claim that they understand Thomas does not have his telephone in his possession at hospital. This is what sources say. But also, she claims, or her reps, Meghan's reps, said that she sent him an email and never heard back from him. And that she tried calling him and she couldn't reach him. Now, Thomas Markle, where is it? Let me find it real quick. Hold on, maybe it's not in this article. Yeah, here he talks about how he wants to see Meghan before he dies. He would love to meet his grandkids as well and to meet her husband too. Yes, they haven't met. That's true. And that he would love to to her. And of course, I completely understand this. After all, he is her father. And somewhere, I'm trying to find it, but I'm not going to spend too much time on this article. Let's see. Oh, you guys, you're not even seeing the article. Oh my Lord, here it is. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's the article, and I was just pointing out here what's been said by the Sun. Sure, the Sun is yellow press, but they're the only ones who did update today the story. So it seems that Thomas Jr. and Samantha Markle are in touch with their father, and Samantha. Let me just bring it up here. Sorry about this, you guys. This is the article, anyways, that he is calling apparently Meghan Markle is calling hospitals in Philippines to try and contact dad after Thomas had leg amputated. Here's the thing. This is BS. Why you're calling hospitals when you can actually call your sister or your brother and ask them, or even text them if you don't want to talk to them, or even email them if you don't want to talk to them, or if you don't want to text them because you don't want them to have your number. There are so many ways where you can reach out to family members and find out exactly in what hospital your father is, what hospital room he's in, and what the state of his health is in. There was another article that said that she emailed him. Thomas Markle completely refutes that. He says, I haven't received anything from her. My number hasn't changed, even though I'm in Philippines, and my number is on someone else. Even when he was in surgery or wasn't able to talk, someone else has his phone. So I wanted to do a quick one. We're not going to spend too much time on this because this is not as important, if you will, as the other topics that we have today. But I do know that we have a lot of femmies here that do follow the royals. They're royal watchers. They do follow the whole Meghan Markle debacle with the royal family, what is happening between her and Harry, all of that. So let's do this. Prairie said didn't the father betray her? I don't see, listen, we cannot be sure if he did betray her back then when he hired a paparazzi to take pictures of him trying on his suit. All right. But isn't that Meghan's MO as well? She always hires, I was going to say Harry. She always, Freudian slip, she always hires paparazzi. She always has cameras around. She documents things because nothing is private. Yes, they do want their privacy, but nothing is private to them. They need to show how amazing they are, what amazing philanthropists they are, what a Martha Stewart she is. They just want all of that. So do we know if he betrayed her? What if she betrayed him? I'm just putting it out there, just food for thought. What if she told him, dad, papa, whatever she called her dad or called her dad, listen, there's so much publicity around this marriage. I'm about to become a member of the royal family. Things are going to get much more private and tougher when I'm in it, because things are much more controlled and curated when you're in the royal family. What if, to garner more attention, why did you hire this paparazzi? Because, by the way, it has been proven that paparazzi that Thomas Markle worked with for those pictures has worked with Meghan in the past. Thomas Markle is not in show business. He's not an actor. He's not. yes, he was a lighting director, but he's been retired for such a long time. How would he know who to reach out to? I'm just saying, just food for thought here. All right. What if she set him up? I don't know. I'm just saying. What if she said, why don't you do that? Get Mike, I don't remember the guy's name. Get this paparazzi guy or this photographer guy to take pictures of you. And Thomas Markle, not knowing how media works, social media works, and just spinning the narrative works. Okay. He said, oh, that'll be so nice. They might write an article about me getting ready for this wedding, me trying on the suit. And then they completely flipped it on him. So food for thought. Just saying. So did he betray her? Did she betray him? Did they betray each other? I've done several readings on them. So if you want to go back and on my channel, back to those readings that I've done, I have several. I have a lot of readings on the royal family, Prince William and Kate, Meghan and Harry. I have a lot of readings. So I'm just saying, just food for thought. Again, we always jump to assumptions or conclusions based on things that we read online. And as we know, the online world is just a big curated fake BS. It's not everything that you see or read is facts. It's unfortunate, but that's the truth. Oh, for to stop with the photographer and stop the RF from helping her father. Martin, thank you. And yes, it is a petty reason not to see your father. Regardless, it's been 6-7 years. I don't remember how long it's been since that happened. Let me tell you, can you not forgive your father if he is on his deathbed and he's really, really sick, and you're the one who actually exited the royal family, therefore you're not part of that world anymore, and you're now free to be Meghan Markle, Martha Stewart, whatever you want to be? Forgive the man. He is your father. He made sacrifices for you, Meghan. He didn't abuse anyone. He didn't steal. He didn't commit a crime. He didn't do any of those things. And if he did, how many kids who have parents who've committed crimes and been to jail have forgiven their parents or even visited their parents in prison? I think it's very, very harsh and very petty, in my opinion. See? So she set it up. So yeah, I agree. She has what's it called? Main character syndrome. What's it called? Yeah. So family issues are complicated 100%, but they were very close before she got engaged to Harry. She had posts on Instagram where she's thinking on Thanksgiving Day, she's thanking her father, and she writes a whole a whole, how can I say this, sort of like a loving post about her father. This was 2 years before she got engaged to Harry, and then poof, things switched, and suddenly your dad is not good enough. He is a low life. He is someone who cannot respect your privacy when allegedly, apparently, you set all this up. Make it make sense. You know what I mean? So yeah. Will diminish her story for after he passes. She has a plan. Yeah, I do believe she has a plan. She has a plan about everything. She knows exactly. She's very calculating. Very calculating. So let's see. First of all, my question is going to be, did Meghan indeed reach out to her dad? Is this just another PR spin? So the other question I want to ask is, will they ever, will they rekindle this relationship? Will they ever speak again before he passes? Because I do feel that his light is dimming. Let me just say that. I'm hearing he won't live past the age of 83. How old is he now? I know he's in his 80s, but how old is he? This is what I heard from my guide. So extremely sad. It's sad for him though. This is his daughter. He loves her regardless. Okay. 87 in the room. Don't forget to like this video as you enter. Don't forget to do it now if you haven't done it already, to like this video. All right, let's get to it. So first question. I'm actually going to leave it open-ended. I'm not going to ask a yes or no question. I'm going to ask, how does Meghan feel about her dad right now and his health challenges? How does Meghan feel about her dad and his health? Oh, I feel, whew, I just got like swept away with a sense of like anxiety. And I also feel that this is causing Meghan anxiety because she knows that this is not going to look good, that she needs to step up and do something now and appear like a good daughter and not, give him the cold shoulder, and not appear too, cold. And this is causing her anxiety, and it's also a huge inconvenience for her. I'm sorry to say, but this is, as soon as I asked the question, this is what I got. So she's very inconvenienced by his health issues. Really? I'm just going to cut the deck now. The Empress, Duchess, Empress, the Queen, Meghan. I know what I'm going to get. Though, because of my tone of how I speak about it, I know I'm going to get all these comments underneath. Yeah, you hate her, you're racist. Stop. The race card is old. That's the only argument people have. Not working. No. Use any other argument you want, but please don't use that one. It's old. Okay. I just pulled the Empress. Told you, the 10 of Wands, inconvenience, a burden for Meghan. Because I've asked, how does she feel? How does she feel about her dad? How does she feel about inconvenience, burdened by it? Because of course the world is going to feel sorry for him. He got his leg amputated. He is old and sick. He's not doing well. So of course people are going to empathize and feel very sensitive and compassionate towards Thomas Markle. And it's not going to look good. So that means that she has to do something, and she doesn't want to. 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles is hard work. It's work. Okay. It is also building a skill. It's also working on something, working hard on something. It could also be a project that you're working on. Okay. So she's now working on, what are we going to do about this story? It's everywhere. The story about her dad. And everyone's looking at Meghan. What is she going to do? Is she going to reach out? What kind of statement is she going to come out with? What does this mean for the Markle family? All right. The Magician. Her intentions are not good. Her intentions are not to reach out. She hasn't, according to my cards, for entertainment purposes only. Okay. According to my cards and my guides, and me being a psychic, just saying it, not based on facts. She hasn't reached out. The magician is the magician, right? He can use his power and his magic to create a world, a story, to manifest, to create things, to be the puppet master too. Of course, she is going to spin all this. And of course, she's going to come out and say, I reached out, but he doesn't want to talk to me. I did my deed. I did what I had to do. He doesn't want to talk to me. No. According to this reading and according to my cards, Nothing like that. Two of Wands. Yes, of course, he's overseas. Of course, she's really sort of reading everything that comes out about Thomas and her right now. And she's looking at that, and Queen of Swords. Swords, you guys, it is thoughts, it's communication, it is also the press and the media. So she's going to take control of the media and she's going to spin all of this. So please don't believe everything that you read, even if it's super positive about Meghan, even if it's an article that says, yes, father and daughter spoke. And as soon as he gets out of hospital, she's going to take her private jet, or Elton John's private jet, or whoever's private jet, and she's going to visit her father. It's all lies. It's all fake. It is, according to my cards. How does she feel? Inconvenienced. To her, and I'm sorry, this is going to sound very harsh for some people. It might trigger people. But again, I say the truth. I cut to the truth. I don't fluff. According to this reading, and according to what I'm receiving psychically, the sooner he passes, the better. Because this causes her anxiety. Not just him, not just the dad, the family. Thomas Jr., what's her name? Samantha. For some reason, I wanted to call her Stephanie. I don't know who I'm connecting to, but I keep hearing Stephanie. So if there is a Stephanie in the chat, it might be about you. So I'm just saying, to her, no, it's all Queen of Pentacles. That this is how she sees herself: an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, a powerhouse, someone who's like, I don't know, a Netflix star, whatever. This is how she sees herself. So I don't have time for this. This is how I feel it, connecting to her energy. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. So she talks to her PR, she talks to her management and whatnot. They convene. How do we deal with this? How do we all of that? But there are no intentions there from Meghan to reach out or to even talk to him and maybe hash things out, which would be the right thing to do, in my opinion. All right, people have some questions. Let's see. Okay. Will Harry ever understand how manipulative she is and has been waiting for the divorce? Having read Harry, I will ask the cards your question, but let me tell you how I see it, because I've read both of them so many times. I've tapped into their energy so many times. I think I understand how they think or how they work. So Harry understands how cutthroat she is. He does see like the bad side of Meghan. He does. He even gets annoyed by her. He has very little patience. Generally, he's not someone who's a very patient person. But here's the thing. He looks up to these when it doesn't affect him. If she turns on him and she does things to him and she sort of like not betrays him, but throws him under the bus, which she kind of did with that book, The Spare, or Spare without the spare. Because my opinion, her fingerprints were all over that book. Okay. As long as it's not affecting him, if she's shrewd and cutthroat and manipulative and all that, he's fine by that, because he's not like that. He's a little baby boy, protected little boy who has a temper, okay? But he doesn't know how the real world works. He's learning, and he's learning via his wife. And that's why sometimes when I read them, I always felt or got that he looked up to her in a sense. Yes, of course, she cosplays his mom. There's that too. But also the fact that she is the way that she is, he looks up to that, because he's not like that. He's many other things, He's got like bad negative personality traits, but she's someone who has a plan. She plots and schemes constantly, and she knows how to talk to people and get things from people. So he's learning. If that answers your question, Asa. But real quick, yeah, will Harry ever understand how much? Yes, he will. I did recently, I think about a month ago, I did a reading on that. Someone asked me that same question or similar question around that, and I just remembered that once the divorce is done, okay, it's settled, everything's done, he he will have a little bit of PTSD, I feel. A little bit, because a lot of things has happened, not only with regards to his relationship or the dynamic with Meghan, but he has PTSD from a lot of things, not only about his mom's death. All right. Um, the answer is it will take a long time for him to really, really, really see how deep and dark he was in this relationship, and how bad it was for him, for his psychology, for his mood, for his PTSD, for his mental health, for all of it. So it's going to take quite a bit of time for him to sort of like wake up. I have heard from hospice nurses that many of the patients that are alone are estranged from their own children. Sometimes they do talk to them, but there are times they don't. Isn't that sad? Isn't that I'll be honest with you, like, one of my biggest fears in life is that I don't know why, I don't believe it's ever gonna happen, but one of my biggest fears is that I'm gonna be alone on my deathbed. Like, I won't have anyone around. Yes, believe it or not, that's one of my biggest fears, because while I'm transitioning, I wanna be able to feel my loved ones around, because I feel that that transition is gonna be even more powerful and smooth, let's just say, for my soul. And so I feel so bad and terrible for people who are estranged from their families and end up exiting, transitioning to the spirit world alone. It's it's really sad. All right, let's move on. So the Markle seems to be very dysfunctional. Yeah, I mean, obviously. Meghan Markle is the product of a family, right? It's not just genetics, it's the environment that you grew up in as well. It really sort of factors in and adds up to already maybe personality flaws and things like that. So much strain, their names have been sullied, they've been bullied and can't get their story out there. It is, yeah, yeah. Because Megan has access. She has the funds, she has the access, she has the name, she has the print. So she's got a lot more power than the Markles. So she really can do whatever she wants. If she wants to bury articles, she'll bury articles. If she wants to spin something, she can spin it easily. They can't. They can't. That's why she wanted him out of the UK, hence Megxit. She wanted him, typical, typical narcissistic move, just isolate the person from their loved ones and their families. Because that way they're going to build a codependency. That's how you build a codependency there. That's how they can rely and depend on you, is by isolating them. And she's done just that. How about those kids? They haven't seen their grandparents. They haven't seen their uncles and aunts back in the UK. Isn't everyone in his family, though, cutthroat? I feel like it's all he knows. They are cutthroat, and he knows a lot. He does know a lot about the darkness, about dark, deep secrets that the royal family holds and keeps. Of course, he knows it. But does well, let me rephrase that. He doesn't know it all. He knows about them or about some of them. He doesn't know it all because, sorry to say, Harry has never been the sharpest tool in the shed. He was never, he was never Prince William. He was never like, yay, you know, I want to be William's right hand man. I want to be there to support. No, he was never like that. He was always immature. He loved to party. He loved Botswana and Africa. There were certain causes that he was really into, and that big respect to Harry for at least having some causes and putting them out there and really caring for those causes, even though some of them, what's Centibale was a disaster. He was kicked out of that, but let's just say he tried. I don't know. I'm trying to, you know what? I'm trying to like sort of, because I was always a royal watcher, right? My grandmother, for instance, was a huge Princess Diana fan. My grandmother also was very connected to Prince Philip's family. And so I always grew up with, what's happening in the royal family, blah, blah, blah. We was always sort of like a discussion at the dinner table, if you will. And so I've always had this like connection with Prince William and Prince Harry, because I remember I was living in London back then when we were watching with my grandma the funeral on the television and watching these two children. I was a child myself, watching them somber walking behind their mother's casket. So in many respects, I hope and I wish that Harry wakes up and really pulls himself together and really does something with his life. He is a middle-aged man now. He's 38, 39 years old. He's almost 40. And he's done nothing he hasn't left sort of like his own legacy behind. The legacy that he's attached to is the legacy of his family, of the royal family. Even though he's been out of the royal family for the past 5 years, what have they done? What have they done that people can praise on them and say they've done something amazing, something that is inspiring, something that is empowering, something that helps people? It seems that they jump on these projects and then they dump them. Like they jump on these projects and then they move on to the next thing. It's almost like they cannot finish what they start. Not a good sign. He's 41 now. Oh my God, where did time go? Even worse, he's 41. I sounded so New York when I said that. Oh, Lord. Yes, I am trying to give him grace. I am. Even though I don't like the things he said and he's done. I don't like how he enables his wife. I don't like all that stuff whatsoever, but I still want to give him some grace. Meghan, I tried. The beginning, I tried. I gave her so much grace. But let me tell you, my spidey senses and my intuition and me being psychic, from the very first moment I watched that interview, the engagement interview, I was like, Before that, I was like, yes, we have a Black woman in the royal family. This is amazing. This is literally modernization. This is really going to shake, the foundations. This is incredible. And then, wow. I was like, nope. Mm-mm. She's not it. Yeah. I don't know if I missed any other questions around that. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that. Wait, also, wait. Stephanie might be her allegedly. Yeah, I heard about that. Is that the name of that girl, Stephanie? Oh wow. Well, that came out of my mouth. Instead of Samantha, I said Stephanie. So, and when I'm in the zone and I'm reading, anything that comes out of my mouth, even if it sounds like I'm just like stumbling on my own words or I can't speak or, whatever, it's not a mistake. Things come through because I'm connected. All right. So if you don't have any questions around that, oh yeah, the last question about Thomas Markle and Meghan, before we move on to Luigi, is, will they ever, like, as I said earlier, I didn't see her, she doesn't want to, okay, she doesn't want to reconnect to her dad, she doesn't want to make the move, she just doesn't, she wants him to go away and leave her alone. Sorry for fiddling with my hair, it's one of those days. So she doesn't want to, but will she, just, for optics, just for optics, do it for optics, Meghan, you know just, if you want to control the narrative here, go see your dad. Go see your dad. That would be amazing. Everyone will be talking about it. But it causes her anxiety. That's why I was hit with anxiety when I asked the question, when I asked my guides the question. Hold on. So will they ever? Ooh, 2 cards just jumped out. The Wheel. The Hanged Man. It will appear so. This is the answer. It will appear that, I don't know. Again, it could be like a PR spin. Okay. It will appear that, I feel that they're going to use this, her PR team and herself are going to use his health issues as a way to put more stories out about Meghan and make her more likable. As in, she reached out, they spoke, blah, blah, blah. She cannot fly to Philippines right now because Archie, I was going to call him George. Archie, sorry. Today I'm not great with names. It's been a long weekend with all those kids. We slept at 3 a.m. yesterday. I had to wake up early this morning as well. I digress. So, all these spins that, she did this and she did that and blah, blah, blah. It's all, in my opinion, it's all lies. And this is the Hanged Man. No, they will never, she will never fly to Philippines or Mexico, wherever he is, to see him. I don't see them reconnecting. Unfortunately, and this makes me sad as a parent myself, Thomas Markle will never see his daughter ever again, in real life. He will never, ever see her again. It's sad. It's very sad. So regardless what the press says out there or what you read or what you hear, you heard it here first. Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau. She likes Cap men. Ooh, is he a Cap? I don't remember that. Maybe you can discuss in another live or taped vlog. I did do a reading when a couple of months ago when the rumors were going or circulating. There were pictures as well about Katy Perry going on was it some kind of like, not blind date, obviously, because they both know who each other are. They're both celebrities or famous, but someone matched them up or someone set this date up. And I remember I threw the cards and I said that no, I could see when I did that reading, I saw that Justin Trudeau was not like into her as much as she was sort of like, enamored by him. And in my opinion, based off of that reading, but we can do a updated reading on that or a check-in. That energy was like, it feels forced. It felt forced. It didn't feel like there was chemistry between them or real chemistry between them. It just felt off, like he's not really into her. I feel they're playing sort of like it's a little bit of a show, because people are talking about it and people are interested, because it is a little bit, it's a bit of an odd match, if you will. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna last. I don't think this is real love or some big thing, but we can do one for sure. Right. Yeah. And good to have them in PR. Exactly. All right. Shall we move on to Luigi now? Because there's so much. I mean, the Luigi Magione case, let me just say, from the very beginning, all of this happened. I was very invested in this. In this case, the reason why is because you'll have to go back, and I've done a couple of readings. I've done 2 readings on this. Is that Luigi is the fall guy. This is the first thing that I saw, even when I did a reading here live with you guys. It was the fall guy. This is much bigger than what it seems, as with everything lately. And they just found the fall guy here. And I saw that there were 2 other men involved in this. Luigi was not the mastermind, and he was not the shooter, the pew-pewer. All right. But this is interesting now how this is all going. I don't remember in my first reading in this case. I really don't remember what I saw regarding like the trial, and if Luigi is going to be found guilty and sentenced and all that. I don't remember, to be honest. If anyone does, please let me know. Before I do, I want to say thank you, Danny. Yes, follow me on Instagram too. Yes, let's get to over 2,000, and let's get over 10,000 here on YouTube, because as soon as we hit 10K subscribers, I have something huge for you prepared. Huge. We're going to have a big celebration and a big giveaways, not just one, okay? Because it's going to be my big thank you to all of you for being with me, for supporting the channel, for supporting me, for just being my friend as well. We're all here. We're all in it together, you guys. And that's why I want to give back to all of you. So let's make this happen, everyone. If we can, let's make this happen until my birthday. My birthday is the first day of Aquarius, 21st of January. So if we can hit 10K before then or around then, that would be huge. It will be a double celebration, double whammy. Luigi committed the crime. Okay, well, let's get to this. Hold on. Let me neutralize my deck real quick, and let me connect to Luigi's. So as I mentioned earlier, this now a lot is on the line with this pretrial, because prosecution is shaky because they don't have evidence. They did not have the search warrant. When they confiscated his bag and searched his bag, they issued a search warrant 7 hours after they confiscated the bag. After they took the bag to the precinct, that's when they, after they already had what they wanted, or what they thought they wanted, or what they thought they were looking for. Just saying. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Drop your questions on the Luigi case if you have any. Yeah. Won't it? Oh, that would be amazing. Okay. Let me just connect to Luigi's energy right now. Luigi's feeling very hopeful. Let me tell you, he's in a good mood. He's exhausted. He's tired. It's not physical, only physical. It's mental. He's very tired. What makes me feel very relieved, if you will, is that his family is supporting him and doing everything that they can. He has a big family, and he talks to them. They call him, they visit. So that keeps him strong, okay? And he's feeling quite positive and hopeful at the moment as I'm connecting. Do you know what I heard? No, you don't. I'll share with you. I heard that aside from the pew-pew, the manifesto, and the rucksack that supposedly, allegedly belongs to Luigi Magione, that's the only evidence, because the CCTV, they have different scenes or different like stills from CCTV You can't prove that that's him. You can't. And also, different guys, different men, different men. The eyebrows are quite distinctive with Luigi. If you go and you look at some of the earlier CCTVs, when they had just arrested him, that was circulating. There were three, I believe. One which was in New York on his way to Pew Pew. I forgot what his name is. The United Healthcare CEO, and Brian Thompson. That's his name. Isn't it? Yeah, I think so. Anyways, there was another one near McDonald's, and there was another one somewhere else in New York. They were not the same person. Okay, so that's not proof enough to say, yeah, that's Luigi. So we'll see how it goes. Prairie says the inmates also support him. A lot of people support him. So let me see what else. Let me see what I'm getting around this. So what will the judge do? What's going on around this search warrant? Let's start there because that's the most recent that's come out of this pretrial and case. I forgot to bring up my thing for the timestamps. Hold on, everybody. Okay. Nine of Swords. Knight of Pentacles. Justice. Hold on. This could end up being really good for Luigi. This could end up being really good for Luigi. Nine of Swords is not good, okay? Because I asked, what is this? Like the search warrant, are they going to drop it? Is this going to change the case? The search warrant, though, the law is the law. It's clear. The law is the law. The judge has to go according to the law, not according to what anyone says. Prosecutor, defense, it doesn't matter. It doesn't look good for the prosecutors, everybody. All right. I also have the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, but alas, somehow, and you heard it here first. Alas, because now prosecution's been cornered because the police messed up because they were in such a hurry to catch this because they knew straight away, didn't they, that that's Luigi within 24, 48 hours. They already knew, not even 24 hours. They knew he was at McDonald's and they knew that was him and he was at McDonald's. They knew everything. So fast, right? Oh, but alas, new evidence is going to come out. Where was this evidence? I'm just saying, where's prosecution going to find this brand new evidence that they're going to bring forth? Justice. Just hold on. Page of Wands. I'm telling you, new evidence. They're gonna spin this as much as they can. Wait, let me re-ask. Four of Wands is celebration. It is being successful. Hold on. I want to ask. I'll be more specific with my question. 1 second. This is going to be a yes or no question. Will they dismiss? Will they throw out the Pew Pew evidence, the journal evidence, the manifesto, what they call the manifesto? Let me ask you this. If you were a Pew Pewer or someone who analyzed people, would you, and you didn't want to get caught, would you write a manifesto? Usually manifestos are written by people who are mentally unstable. Serial killers may, like the Zodiac killer, for instance, would leave manifestos, cryptic manifestos behind. He wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't leave trails behind, search history and things like that. Especially if you are saying you're not unstable. And Luigi Magione, so far, we haven't heard like anything about his mental health. Aside from the fact that he was depressed because of chronic pain, which that's normal, we're all kind of like depressed, aren't we? Like depression is something that is so widespread, unfortunately, in society and people. So that's nothing to, that doesn't mean that because you're depressed, you're going to go and unalive people. That's not a motive. Okay. So, question: will the gun, the three pieces of evidence or damning evidence against Luigi, are they going to be thrown out? Are they going to be thrown out? Okay. This one jumped out, Page of Swords. Let me see. Let me pull a couple more cards. The Wheel. The Wheel means luck is changing. Okay. A situation, the direction, if something is going in one direction, then that direction is going to change. It means change overall. All right. So, Two of Pentacles. 2 out of the 3. 9 of Wands. Let me try and read this and understand what this is about. So this was the jumper card, Page of Swords. Page is like someone, like it could be someone young. Okay, someone Luigi is quite young. This is also new news coming out or new information coming out. The wheel, spinning something, even spinning a story, spinning a case, spinning how things happened, a change. We're reading this together. 2 of Pentacles, it's sort of like which way are we going with this? Which way is going to work most better for us? What's the safest path we can take as well? There's that. And then the 9 of Wands, we're going to act. I feel here in this context, in this question, the 9 of Wands is like, oh, no, we didn't make any mistakes. Wait, no, but we can explain, no, we did nothing wrong here. There's going to be like a defense. There's going to be a strong defense against this. So definitely prosecution is going to fight hard for this evidence not to be thrown out, and they're going to spin this. So how they're going to do it, whether they're going to have someone, a police officer, one of the police officers that were involved with Luigi's arrest to testify or provide some kind of written statement and maybe use him as a I don't know, because I don't know how these things work. Ace of Cups. Two of Wands. I'm trying to figure out, because there's no clear answer, yes or no here. I will go with what my guides are saying because I just heard it. I actually think this is going to be helpful for Luigi. All of this is going to be extremely helpful for Luigi's case. I think they're going to spin it. I don't think they're going to throw out the evidence per se because of the search warrant. But I do feel and I see that Luigi's legal team, what they're going to do is this mistake and other mistakes that have been made by the police and even the prosecution is going to really help them with this case. It's actually a blessing, all of this. The High Priestess, there you go. There you go. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't think they're going to throw things out. They're going to find a way. Okay. They're going to find a way to keep this evidence. That's all they have, really. That's all they have. So if they don't have that, they don't have a case. So they will keep it in. This is huge. All right. Because the world is watching. The case has to happen. They cannot just throw away the case and say, okay, Luigi's free because we don't have enough evidence. So the trial is going to happen. It's going to go on, but I feel that the prosecution has a secret ace in their sleeves, under their sleeves, and all of this is actually helping them. So looks good for him. Looks good for him. Would you? Oh, yes, I did want a couple. Was it last Sunday or no, the Sunday before on Gus? This is another missing boy. Another boy who went missing in South Australia. So they recently completed a new search on 6 mine shafts to no avail. I would have to do one. I would have to go into deep meditation and remote view and see. And then I'm either going to record it while I'm doing the meditation, or I'm going to write down everything that I'm getting and then do a video on that, on a separate video on that. So yeah. Do you believe that this was meant to make us feel sorry for big pharma people before the big truths start to drop? No, I don't think it was about making us feel sorry for pharma and the pharma execs and all that. I feel this was a big wake up call to the people, to all of us, the plebs. Okay, that's how they see us. It's a big wake up call that everything around us, and I've talked about this plenty. Okay, is not the reality that we have created around us. This is part of the spiritual warfare. This is the reality that they want us to live in. Evil people, the low vibrational humans that work with evil and use evil to gain power, to gain money, to gain success, to just be invincible, okay, on this earth. What's happening now is that things like that, what happened with Luigi and the CEO of this insurance company, and I believe that more of these types of things are going to happen in the near future, is a big wake up call that not just to us, that this is not the reality that we've created, but to them too, that we are awake. We know what they're doing. We know that to them, for instance, with pharmas and insurance companies, they don't care about our health. They don't care whether we're going to live to be 100 years old, healthy and all Botoxed and all plump and looking amazing. They don't care about that. If we could die at the age of 25, right? But just before we do, we consume or we use all of their all of their I have to be careful with my words, all of the medicine and all of the stuff that's on offer. Yes, they would be happy with that. Why do you think? Maybe I'm not making sense. So I recently read an article that a pharmaceutical has come out. It's still hasn't been approved by FDA or hasn't been approved yet. It's still on trials, but they have found the fountain of not youth, but the fountain of longevity. So people will be living to the age of 100 and more even, and have more quality of life, being healthier, not being 90 with all these ailments and being sick, and that basically they can extend our lifespan. Do we really want this? I know a lot of people are afraid of death, but is this what we want? Of course, they want us to live longer, because if we live longer, then, okay, we work more. We won't go out and we won't be in retirement by the age of 65, 67, at least in Europe. Okay, that's the age of retirement here. We would have to work to the age of 85 then. If on average people died at the age of 100, then we would have to work to the age of 85, 87, right? And then possibly even live like the next 10 are golden years, retirement years. What, have 10 years left of us to enjoy life? That's what they want. So we pay more money. So they earn more money through our taxes, through our pension plans, through all that. Do you see where I'm going with this? The money that we put in the bank, they monetize from everything. It's not that they want us to live forever or to live to the age of 100 because they care about us and this is what they want for humanity. We got this, we got your back, now we can, why don't we eradicate cancer then? AIDS, all of these viruses then. So now we have found the secret sauce on how we can live longer and better, but we cannot eradicate it and we cannot find the cure for cancer and other diseases that are killing people. It's not making sense, is it? Sorry, I'm gonna rant. I know I'm not making sense. I'm just voicing my thoughts without even putting my thoughts in order here. I'm just saying. So to answer your question, very long-winded answer, to answer your question, it's not about them feeling sorry for us, but this is about a big wake-up call. We see you. We see you. Spiritual warfare. We see you. We know who you are. We know. And those people, and we're talking about Luigi now being the fall guy. The other two men that I saw who are behind this, you know what they want? They want this. And that's why Luigi is a fall guy, because they want to create this chaos. They want everyone to say, this is unacceptable. This is not right. You cannot do this on a public street or on broad daylight, even though I don't think it was broad daylight when he was. But this is what they want. They want to create division. They want to create chaos. They want to create fear. It's all about fear. It's all about fear. So, and also it is a big distraction. And I remember this from that reading, that this Brian Thompson, I believe his name, the CEO of United Health Insurance Company, he was involved in shady dealings too. So who was he involved with? Who was he having shady dealings with that they wanted him out? There's that too. Who was he owing money to? Because that's where it comes down to. And this I know because I've read this case. And I know, yes, I believe that there is shady dealings. The CEO of the victim, okay, knew about things, had access to information, and possibly wasn't following their program. Okay. And maybe he wanted out. Maybe he wanted out. And maybe they wanted him out because he knew too much. And also he was involved in things. So if he was involved in shady dealings, he may have had a lot of inside information about what's going on and who's involved and who's behind insurance companies, who funds insurance companies. Why are insurance companies rejecting all these? You have an insurance contract, right? You have an insurance contract, and then you go to hospital. Let's say you broke your leg. Okay, you were in a freak accident or a horrible accident. Your leg is in pieces. You have to have major surgery. You have to bring an orthopedic specialist over, fly him over, because this is such a. And suddenly your insurance company says, "Oh, we don't cover that. We cannot cover that. This is not in your contract." Hello, where does it say that? But all insurance contracts are written, the legal teams, the best lawyers in the corporate world work for pharmas and insurance companies. Let me tell you that. And they know exactly how to word things in contracts where if you take them to court, there's no way you can win this. There's no way you're going to go bankrupt because it is so vague and they use all these like legalese and legal terms. It is confusing. It is there's no way you can win such a case. Who won? Show me, give me an example, a recent example or a case of someone who took an insurance company or a pharmaceutical to court, okay, and they won. Just saying. Okay, so many questions. I don't want to miss them. Hold on. How does his family think of all the attention he's getting? We're talking about Luigi, right? Because I went off on a tangent now. Let's see. I'll ask the cards. I'm getting like, I get that this is a very tight-knit family, his family. I keep getting his mom in the forefront. So I feel that he's very bonded with his mom. He has very good relationship with his mom. She has a soft spot for him, I'm hearing. The mom, I feel she's keeping her cool. Like I don't sense that the family is in a panic. Of course they're extremely stressed, but I feel that they're like keeping their cool, just connecting. Seems they're very level-headed. They have a strategy down. They talk to lawyers. They're very organized as a family as well. I believe they have money. I feel they have the resources as well. So, what do they think about his attention? The attention he's getting. Let me just tell you, some of his cousins and stuff really enjoy. Like they it's almost like a joke. Oh, Luigi was in the news again, or look at this, or look at that. It's almost like it's gone to that, but it's also a coping mechanism, I guess, as well. So, yeah, I mean, I would say his parents are not too crazy about all the attention that the family and Luigi's getting. On the other hand, they know, and I feel especially the mom, again, I focus on the mom, that she knows that how media works and that this attention could actually help them and is helping them because online, most people are very pro Luigi. He has fan clubs and stuff, girls fangirling or people fangirling over him. So yeah, they're there for him though. Oh, that's such a good question. I wish you guys had universal healthcare. I mean, listen, if you ask any one of us living in any of the European countries, we're all going to bitch and complain about our universal healthcare system here, but at least it's free. Yes, it might take ages for a doctor to see you. Some hospitals, have really outdated sort of like machines and stuff like that. There's so many issues here. Some doctors are like especially very overworked, so they might miss things. Booking an appointment for an MRI might take up to like 8 months. Let me tell you about that. Or a CT scan can take up to like 8 months. So there are issues with the universal health system here too, or generally, but no one's rejected anyone, even if you're not insured, even if you're just like an immigrant just landed in a country and you have nothing, no papers and things like that. They have to treat you. They cannot say you're not allowed to be treated. So that's a big, big, big benefit of having universal healthcare system. So yeah. And let me tell you, it's not really free here in Europe. We pay really high taxes, really, really high taxes for this healthcare system. And most of the times, if you need if you need to be hospital, we don't have beds. You'll just have to lie on this like makeshift like bed here in the corridor and wait until a room clears out or whatever. It's yeah. Just saying. Me personally, I also have private insurance. Even though I have like universal insurance, I also have private insurance because I'm like, if anything happens, I don't want to be thrown out in a corridor and have to wait for a doctor for like 10 hours. It happened to me in Austria. I nearly died from peritonitis. Anyways, let's not get to that. Let's not get into that. So let me see. Will the US... Okay, a card jumped out, but I hadn't even formed my question yet. King of Swords. No. Not in our lifetime, at least. I don't see that. I don't see the US ever switching to universal healthcare, I'm afraid. Look, yeah. It doesn't mean that, in the future, in our lifetime, we're not going to see this, but I mean, I do believe that in the future, this is going to be sort of like a big topic that might be brought up by, what's called politicians or prospective presidents, things like that. But it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Do you think any new charges or investigation will come from the documentary? Yes, thank you for bringing that up. We're going to do a separate, just on Diddy video, another one. Yes, he's going to get, I've said this even before his sentencing and everything. I saw he's getting more lawsuits, more investigations, more accusations coming. From the very beginning, when the Cassie lawsuit was dropped, okay, I said when I started reading on Diddy, I saw him dying behind bars. And what I mean behind dying, I just saw him being in prison for a very long time, and him either trying to fake his death or faking his death, or do the whole Epstein thing. So I was very surprised when he was sentenced only like to 50 months. Was it 50 months for the allegations? But I do believe that the prosecution made a lot of mistakes putting this case forward and taking it to trial. But I was very surprised. But let me tell you, when he comes out, he's going to go straight back in again. It's over for Diddy. It's over. If he thinks when he comes out of jail or prison, when he comes out of prison 2 years, 2.5 years, that he's going to go back to being Puff, Love, Diddy, the Diddler, whatever he wants to call himself. I'm sure he will try to rebrand himself. No. It's not going to work. It's done. And he's going to go back to prison, and he's going to spend a long time in prison. Eventually, the truth about Biggie, by the way, if you haven't watched them yet, I've channeled Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac. Very interesting readings. You have to go back and watch. When I asked them, who did this to you? They didn't say, but they hinted. I urge you to go watch those videos, but let me tell you, I believe, yes, I 100% believe that behind Biggie's and Tupac's unalivings was Diddy. All right, 50 Cent also insinuated in that, and his documentary, great documentary, by the way, Diddy the Revelation. Very, very well done. Great storytelling. Very, very, very good. I really enjoyed it, binged it. So I highly recommend you watch it if you haven't already. And he's going to go back in prison. So you guys, we're going to be talking about him a lot here because there's a lot more coming out. And especially now, I do feel something is brewing, like something is being prepared in the background, because I feel another legal case, another lawsuit coming up, another big one, huge one. And Jay-Z, we're going to do another reading on Jay-Z. I'm kind of waiting. Maybe I will do Jay-Z after Christmas, because I have so many other videos I want to do before Christmas for you guys. But Jay-Z is another one that I see in 2026. I did mention it in my 2026 psychic predictions video, which I posted on Friday if you haven't watched it yet. It blew up. I have like, I think 7K views so far. But I did mention that Jay-Z is going to be next. Jay-Z is going to be next. A lot about Jay-Z is going to come out. So we're going to have a Jay-Z, the revelation as well. I don't know. We shall see. I also see in 2026, let me give you a little bit of a preview of what I said in that video, is that rumors are going to start coming out and circulating about Jay-Z and Beyonce and their marriage, and whether they're together, whether they're living together, what is going on. Not just that, but also little things about Jay-Z as well, things that he's done, allegations, blah, blah, blah. Jay-Z is going to be next. So we'll be here to talk about everything and look into it. It's myself every day lately. How can AI be the next thing to put all the people out of work, but can create cures for diseases, right? Right? Oh, hi, Jesus. Aren't Italian? Yes, the Mangionis are Italian. Yeah. I mean, Luigi, just the name is Italian as well. Hi, Spasms. Hello to you too. Money. Yeah. It is very pissed off his lawyer. I know. I saw some kind of heading, or was it a video this morning really quickly, because again, I haven't been much on my phone this weekend. But I was like, yeah, and I thought that would happen. You're not allowed to record meetings with your lawyers. These are private. You're not allowed to do. If you do and it leaks, it could even jeopardize a case. For instance, if the case was still ongoing right now, it would have been huge. It would have jeopardized his case. I mean, I'm sure Agnifilo is pissed. I'm sure he is, and he should be. Well, Agnifilo, you lay in that bed, you know. You took on Diddy because you wanted to make a lot of money from that, and you did make a lot of money from that. But let me ask you that, Mark Agnifilo. Can you send me a text when he pays you? If he pays you, I'd be interested to know if he pays you. Just saying. That's how they got the footage. That's how 50 Cent got the footage. The newer footage, the one of Diddy in New York 5 days before he got arrested, when he knew that the feds were after him. How do you think they got the footage? 50 Cent and his producer and director got the footage. They paid the videographer who was hired by Diddy, but never paid by Diddy. They paid him. They paid him his coin. They gave him his coin for the job that Diddy hired him to do. So they have the rights now. Just saying. So Diddy, maybe you should pay your lawyers just in case. Roger says, I don't know if it means anything, but after looking at your 2026 predictions, I was looking back at the dream I had of Trump on his bed in his last hours, looking terrorized a few months ago. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. He's unfortunate. I'm saying unfortunately because he's still a human being. I see this very much as a human being, okay? From a human perspective. It is a human. He is the father of Barron and all the kids that he has. He is the husband of Melania, even though I feel Melania cannot stand it. Just saying, he's a human being, though, right? So, yes, his demise is coming. Will women's rights be taken eventually? Um, will women's rights be taken eventually? Taken from where? What do you mean? Can you elaborate? Are we talking about the US? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The irony of it all as well. That Agnifalo's wife is Luigi's lawyer, which I think it's fascinating. It's fascinating how things work. All right, we have one last quick one. So I'm gonna leave the reading on William Tyrell, on this boy that's gone missing in Australia. I'm gonna do a whole separate video on that, and at the same day that I do that video, I'm gonna do an update on Gus Lamont from Australia, the two boys that have gone missing. I'm going to do that on a separate video. So, last but not least, before we go, let's look into Trump. Let's do our politics topic today. Our topic today in politics is Trump versus Maduro. Trump is after Venezuela, after Maduro. He doesn't want Maduro anymore. He's threatened him. He has done it all. And why? Well, according to Trump, it's because of the what are they called? Substances, smuggling substances that are going into the USA. But if you look at the statistics, Venezuela is not the substance capital of the world. Okay. Venezuela is not it. How about the other countries, such as we have Mexico and Colombia? Why isn't he after those countries, for instance? Just saying. So what we have here is, I did see, actually Kempire sent me a video which I thought was really interesting, and he gave me the idea of looking into this, where this video was on TikTok, where this TikToker actually said, and then I did some research and this is correct actually, Venezuelan opposition leader, her name is Maria Corina Machado, or Machado, sorry if I'm mispronouncing, a few months before Trump went on a tirade against Venezuela and Maduro. Listen, Maduro is an awful, awful, awful man. He's done horrible things. He's completely destroyed Venezuela. Venezuelan people are struggling. You guys, because I have a friend, she's from Venezuela. She told me her sister, who's a pediatrician, they don't have medication for babies. They don't have vaccination for babies. A lot of these women have to give birth in the corridors of the hospitals, on the reception, because they don't have space. They don't have air conditioning or heating or anything. It is bad. It is bad. So back to what happened with the opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado. So she had a meeting a couple of months before all this went down, with the World Bank, hedge investors, hedge funds, some of the very well known bankers out there. Why? Why? Because they're interested in investing in Venezuela. Why? If Venezuela is such a bad place, it is a substance capital of the world that exports all these substances, that kills unalives all these people around the world, or in the US, let's be more specific, in the US, then why do you want to do business with them? Why do you want to invest in Venezuela? Well, let me tell you why. Venezuela, did you know Venezuela has actually the largest reserves of oil in the world? And did you know that Venezuela is one of the main providers of oil to China? And we all know Trump hates China. Hates China. Arch enemy number one is China. So, are they all doing this because they want to change the regime? Is Trump doing this because he wants to change the regime in Venezuela and have access to the oil reserves and make even more money and cut? Because this is going to, if he does that, you guys, this means that we will be preparing, the Western world will be preparing to go to war with China. Because if Maduro is out, Trump goes in, they start investing, they have access to the oil reserves, and they switch off the tap with China, and they're like, China, we're not providing you oil anymore. This, you guys, is going to create a ripple effect, which is going to be really, really bad. Really bad. So I wanted us to look into this real quick and see, is this really what's going on here? Is it because of the oil, which we all know that the answer is yes. We all know the answer is yes, but I want to ask the cards. I want to ask Spirit. So I'm neutralizing my deck real quick. Let me see what you guys are saying while I'm doing that. Needless to say, Trump will never get a Nobel Prize. He so desperately needs his Nobel Prize, Peace Prize, right? Speaking of that, Machado, since she wanted this here. Interesting, Roger. Very interesting. I know this is about Lord Vanessa's most beautiful man. No, it's okay. You can say that. Hope Trump hated Putin too. They're brothers in arms, you guys. It's all a show. It's all a show. Okay, let me look into. So, and I want to see what is the motive here, and will he actually attack? Will he actually attack Venezuela and be successful in unaliving or getting rid of Maduro? So I'm just asking, I'm leaving it a little bit open. I'm asking Spirit and the cards to show me the future of Venezuela. Like, and when I mean the future, I mean next year. So what is going on there? What else can you show me about Trump wanting to attack and bomb Venezuela, please? Okay. Hold on. I had a jumper card. I'll show you in a second. That's what I'm asking, Trinella. The devil. Eight of Cups. Well, this is Maduro. Eight of Cups. Will he? Yes, that's what he wants to do. He wants to seize. He wants to corner Maduro. Eight of Swords. There you go. He wants to corner Maduro. So Maduro either, says, what do you want, Trump? Do you want access to the oil reserves? Yeah, here you go. Just don't take my life. Don't touch my family. Let me rule here. Let me be like a pseudo rule. Let me be the next Saddam Hussein, like pseudo. Because Saddam, you guys, he was very much funded and supported by the US. Sorry to say, but that's the truth. Okay. So everything else was BS. It was just a big fat excuse to also, it was to move money around when wars break out. It's also it's like money laundering. Governments, yes, nations and governments can do that. It's just circulating the money among the elites, not us, and people die, kids die, but it's okay. It's all about money. So yeah, yes, he means business. So Trump means business. He's not all words. He's not just, calling it, he's not just bluffing. Okay. He means it. He wants to corner Maduro. He is completely after him. Five of Cups here. Now, whether he's going to be successful, Nine of Wands, not yet. So at this present moment, I don't see that he's ready to click any button or give the okay, come on, let's do this. Let's invade Venezuela. Let's bomb Venezuela. No, No, at the moment, this is not it. Two of Pentacles, it's all about money. It's all about money. They are, what I am receiving now is and seeing is that there are talks behind closed doors between Maduro's execs and Trump's as well. Negotiating. There are negotiations happening and have been happening for a while regarding all this. It's not about the substances, I tell you. It's about the oil and the money as well, strength. But eventually, Trump will need to do something. He doesn't want to be the one who just threatens and doesn't do anything, because already, he's getting, people are not taking him seriously. There's a lot of questions about his mental health and his health, and even the Republicans now, even some of the MAGAs now are like not siding with Trump and not really aligning with the things that he's saying and doing. So, he will have to show his cojones and not just talk about his cojones, his balls, in layman's terms. Okay. And he will have to. So, with this strength card, I do see him. I don't see a big war, let's say, or a big event happening, but he will definitely cause some stir. No, that's not even English. He will stir some kind of, I want to say event. Okay, wait, incoming. I'm being shown right now. So I see violent protests. I see on the streets of Venezuela clashing. So armed police clashing with people, fires around, smoke. And so I don't know if this is some kind of like protest that turns south and becomes violent, but during that time, there's going to be an explosion. It's going to be an explosion. But it's not going to be, how can I say this? It's going to be an explosion, but they're going to blame it, or somehow it's going to be spin to seem like it's because of this violent protest. The people, put a bomb and created this thing because they don't want Maduro, or they're too scared of what Trump is going to do. But let me say this. What my guides are saying, this is going to be the Americans, so the US, Trump, who are going to cause this without it being, an F-36 or F-16 flying over and dropping bombs. They're going to make it appear, they're going to cause, there's a word for it, but I can't find it. They're going to cause chaos and violence and unalivings by using the Venezuelan people, if that makes sense. Like using them, not a shield or anything, but causing enough tension for them to want Maduro out and start becoming very violent and taking to the streets and demanding for him to step down and leave the country and all that. So if that makes sense, this is what I'm seeing. But it's not going to be like we start bombing, we send in the troops or anything like that. Yes, they're adding pressure, but it's not going to happen in that way. It's going to happen very covertly, which tracks with Trump, which tracks, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised Maduro's doing some dark energy work on Trump behind the scenes. I wouldn't be surprised either, to be honest. Being alleged that he does a babala. Oh, that makes sense, because I forgot to show you guys, this was a jumper card. While I was shuffling, I had the High Priestess as well. So the High Priestess is also a protection. Didn't I tell you fires and protests? I just pulled the Tower, by the way. Didn't I tell you it's going to be, this is the way it's going to happen. But the High Priestess is also protection. It's not only what Maduro is doing to Trump energetically, but it's also he's very much protected, like a very powerful shield of protection around him. He said cojones reminds me of that Baba thing from the email that leaked out. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you know, you know, for those of you watching. And his whole dark gang leaves. Will the US ever rebuild itself to its former? Yes, the US absolutely will. It's going to take a few years, but let me tell you, I see a golden era for the US coming as well. So you guys, it's just, just I know it's hard for all of my American friends. It's very hard. I know because I see you, we talk, you book readings with me, we talk all the time, and I know what you're going through. And I know what the problems are. I obviously I don't live there, but the light is going to shine again very, very brightly over the US. It's coming. I promise you things are going to get even better than it was before. When was before? That is subjective. Other people might say, things were great when Obama was president. Others might think when Biden or Bush or whoever, Clinton, whoever was president. But let me tell you that yes, things are looking up for the US. It's going to happen. I promise you. And if it doesn't, I'm here. You can come after me. But I speak with absolute confidence in this. Absolute confidence. Trinella, tell us. Well, it's not as easy as it sounds. I come from an oil background in Venezuela. Do you want to share with us a little bit more? What do you mean it's not easy as it sounds? Do you mean it's not easy as it sounds regarding the oil reserves and the control and the power that he wants to have over the oil reserves? Please, we're all really interested to hear what you have to say, since you're there, you have an oil background, and it will be good for people to hear what you have to say and your perspective as being a Venezuelan, because everyone is with you guys. We're on your side. But we also, everyone needs to understand what's really happening in your country, because oil is very much the root of all evil. All right. A lot of big crimes and wars have happened because of oil reserves and oil, money, gold, but mostly oil. Maria Corina will have to give concessions to foreign countries because of our constitution. They cannot own our oil. Let me read that again. Maria Corina will have to give concessions to foreign countries because of our constitution. They cannot own our oil. No one can own your oil, but they can have access to your oil, and they can definitely manipulate things. In my opinion, this is based on, I'm not, you guys, I'm not I'm not a politician. I'm not I'm not a journalist or anything like that. I'm basing everything off of what I'm reading, of my psychic insight, and obviously things that I myself read out there. He will probably want to put hotels in Venezuela as well. Yeah, of course he wants. Yes, because of our beaches. Absolutely. The way he wants to turn Gaza into a resort, he will definitely turn Venezuela into a resort, a big resort for the elites. And not just the elites, but yes, 100%. I also believe that as well. So big things and big changes are coming. I also, you guys, if you haven't watched already, do watch the 2026 psychic predictions. It is part 1, right? Part 2 is coming soon, because I have more to add and more downloads that I received. Some of them I forgot to include, I'll be honest. Some of them I also forgot to include in that video, because I write things on piece of paper. So when I get downloads, when I meditate and I get all these insights, if I'm on the go, I'll put them on my notes app. If I'm at home, I'll grab a pad, paper, journal, something, and I will write them down. And then I bring them all together. I type them out, or I write them, scribble them on a piece of paper, and then I do the video, right? I just put them all, and then I say, okay, this is entertainment. I'll put all of them under that section, under. I lost a couple of them, okay? I misplaced a couple of these notes that I had, and I found them after I did the video. So I will add those in, and a couple of more downloads that I received in the meantime. Okay, so there is going to be a part 2, for the predictions as well. There's also going to be another video where I'm going to be talking about, and I'm going to be getting into the 2026 in numerology, the significance of the number one. Okay. 2026 is a number 1 year, a number 10, but in numerology, you go single number digit. So it's number one. Number one is the master number. It's the master angel number. So I'll be getting into that, the energies, the themes of the year, and also a video on the forecasts for the zodiacs, what you should expect in 2026. So I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of videos to do, a lot of things to prepare for you guys. All right. And I'm working hard to have everything on time. I know sometimes I'm a bit late. I sometimes, but you have to understand that I do 3 or 4 readings a day. That's a lot. I have a family. I rescue animals. I take care of my rescue animals and my animals. I'm a busy girl. So I do my best to deliver on time what I promise, but I always deliver. I may not be on time, but I always deliver. Remember that. All right, everybody. That's it for today. This has been a long live. This has been very interesting. I will record next week the 2 true crime cases that I promised you. I will. I'm seriously, to be honest, for me, these are very important, especially when it comes to crimes that involve children, and schmex trafficking and women, or crimes against women. These are my priorities always in true crime and generally, because I want to help. I want to use my gifts, my abilities to help, and maybe even help in a way where we can solve some of these cases, hopefully at some point, who knows. But just, I want to put that information out there, and I'm sure that information might help some people involved in this case, people who are innocently involved in this case. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for the support. Don't forget to like this video on your way out. If you're new here, do consider to subscribe, and I'll be seeing you again live next week. And also make sure that you have the notifications on when you subscribe or you have subscribed, so you don't miss any videos, any uploads, or any lives that I do. Thank you all. Till next time. Take care. Bye.